So, hello everyone and welcome back to some more of the Chicken Police here and with another Advent Calendar episode. The Times River apparently and Lake Deseda. And we're gonna be heading today into the Insane Asylum. Doesn't that sound enticing? So let's go. To the Insane Asylum, Chapter 4, farewell my lovely what?
I slept like I used to sleep years ago. Like a miner or a soldier. Empty, dead tired. Then I saw Tessa, my darling little daughter. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't recall her face. I reached out to her, but she just kept getting further and further away. Then I saw Molly. But she wasn't real. Just the ghost of a memory. I'm here, I cried. But all I heard was laughter. Not hers. Who's there? Suddenly, she appeared. Natasha. Just stood there laughing. But her eyes were cold. Then she said something. Painted red. Painted red. Painted red. That was just a dream, Sonny. Nothing more. I looked at Marty and I saw the same thing in his eyes as he probably saw in mine. It's time to hit the brakes, to turn back, go home and forget about all of this. Of course, I stepped on the gas instead.
Maybe Natasha herself wants to keep it
Honestly,
secret.
I wasn't expecting anything good, but this...
But yeah, maybe Natasha wants to keep it so much of a secret. It is very interesting slash strange though, how like she was in our dream saying painted red, painted red, painted red. That just makes me suspicious, I do have to say. But okay, the Insane Asylum, eh?
Ooh, just like a horror movie.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Let's hope so.
Looks lovely. Something colorful, a weird mural. And resident.
This guy seems strangely familiar to me.
You don't say. You've been treated here too. That would explain a lot.
Totally, I'm sure that's what he means.
Oh, don't be stupid. I'm serious. Take a closer look.
No.
Beaver?
Well?
No, it can't be. Are you telling me it's him? M.B. Davis himself?
True. True, it could be M.B. Davis.
I'm sure of it, pal. It seems the gossip was true. The eternal king of jazz in a madhouse.
Aw.
Oh, no. The poor devil.
Aw.
It doesn't matter how big a star you once were. Ending up lonely and crazy in a rotting insane asylum in the middle of nowhere is like the universe restoring its balance.
I don't know about that.
That was very poetic of you, Marty. Almost deep. Careful you don't drown.
Cluck you. It doesn't matter how big...
Well, M.B. Davis. Ah, receptionist Miranda. Gotcha.
We should go to reception first. Let them know we're here.
Sure. But we could just go to the stairs. A weird mural. That's like the King Fox and, yeah, Happy Kids.
This picture...
It's very...
special? This it's special?
Well, it's definitely interesting.
Even if you manage to escape, there's nothing but hills and forests for 100 miles.
Imagine how many poor lunatic ghosts must haunt those woods.
Ooh, Sonny, you're creeping me out.
Insane ghosts in the woods, Marty.
Insane coasts.
Sonny, it's not funny.
Why not? I thought that it was funny.
Insane.
Sonny.
Very funny. Alright, Miranda.
Ah, like an angel from heaven, isn't she?
Is she?
Yeah, half of her's still up there, I think.
Yeah, I can barely see her head.
That's rude.
Oh, boo-hoo.
It's true though.
What do you think? Can she hear us up there?
Sonny, stop being so heightist. It's a different world nowadays, you know?
Heightist.
Yeah, okay. Cry me a river.
I'm forever amazed by what an asshole you are.
It was just a joke too.
What do you think? Can she hear us up there?
Okay, hello Miranda.
Of all the great wild ones.
I can really not see her head. Hello Miranda. Yeah, it is us, the chicken police.
Greetings, miss.
Is it really you?
Yeah, it is.
Well, yes.
Yes, it really is you. The chicken police.
Yes, indeed.
I'm afraid so.
Of all that's furry and plumey, that's fantastic. Oh my goodness.
Ah, poor. Well, Miranda, calm down.
Miss, we'd like to ask...
Please, don't be scared. I'm just really excited. You know, I've read every book about you and your adventures, and I even collected newspaper articles when I was a little girl.
Aw, well, that's nice, cute.
Indeed.
You can't imagine what an honor it is to meet you in person.
Thank you.
We really...
Oh God, oh God, oh God. Take a deep breath, Miranda. Take a deep breath.
Yes, just breathe calmly. Just breathe.
Are you okay, miss?
Yes, I am. I just needed some air. So, dear detectives, Santino and Martin, what can I do for you?
Well, some things.
Well, miss, we have some questions, if you don't mind.
I'd love to answer all of your questions, detectives.
Of course you would. Okay, hello.
Sorry, but I still can't believe it's really you.
It's no problem.
Neither can we.
You can't imagine how wonderful it is that I can help you in one of your cases. Does this mean it will become a new book? And maybe I will be in it?
It is plausible, at least.
Miss, those books aren't really...
The cases.
Don't even tell me. No, I don't want to know. Let it be a surprise instead.
No, I didn't mean...
Leave it to me, Sonny. I'm good at this. Thank you, miss. Your words are very flattering, and we are honored.
No, I thank you. I'll never forget this day.
Okay.
We won't either, that's for sure.
We're happy to bring you joy, miss. Anytime.
Please, I'm at your service.
Thank you.
Thank you, miss.
Thank you, miss. Okay, Insane Asylum.
Say, miss, what can you tell us about this place?
Our institution was standing even before the Great Meat War, and during the war, it was transformed into a military hospital. Since then, we're relentlessly working on treating injured minds under the leadership of Dr. Quetzal, the famous specialist.
Quetzal.
The place seems pretty empty. Do many people work here?
We have 32 residents and 7 nurses, including me. We also have a 3-person maintenance and cleaning staff, and, of course, the heart and soul of our institution, Dr. Quetzal himself.
But that is kind of a lot. 32 residents and only 7 nurses. It's not that many. Especially if you actually would need also some free days sometimes and not just working every freaking single day, you know? Or do you mean the 7 nurses per day? Don't know.
I see. Now, this Dr. Quetzal, is he the director here?
Exactly. Director, scientist, researcher, patron, and doctor. And even a friend.
Yay.
Quite a guy.
He certainly is.
So about Dr. Sensuous Quetzalcoatl.
So who is this Dr. Quetzal exactly?
He's a world-famous researcher of the mind, Mr. Featherland. He published countless books in the fields of psychology and psychotherapy.
Cool.
Psycho. What?
Unraveling the mind. It's the most crucial mission of the century, Mr. McChicken.
That's really good to know.
Really?
So this doctor's some celebrity, right? Does he usually meet other important persons?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
I don't know either.
Well, like Mr. Hobart Wessler, for example.
I was starting to think that maybe he thinks about Westler.
Ah, yes. That's something you should ask the doctor himself, but unfortunately, I don't think he has time right now.
Well, that would be very unfortunate because we would need to be meeting him ASAP.
He's swamped, is he?
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. He is very, very, very busy. All the time.
I thought so.
That. So, about this wristband, have any idea who it belongs to?
What can you say about this, miss? Have you seen anything like it?
Of course. Our residents wear these for identification. But how did you come by it? They only wear them inside the institution.
Well, something happened to one of them then.
Huh. I see.
The wristband does belong to one of our residents. But I'm afraid I'm not allowed to tell you more due to regulations.
Well, unless you were able to confirm it is from this location.
Oh, come on, Miranda. It's us, the chicken police.
I'm sorry, I can't.
I know, Miranda. I know. Even though, like, you would love to tell.
Miranda, this case is a matter of life and death. Lives are in your hands.
All right. All right. I'll do it. Albert Wessler. The patient's name is Albert Thaddeus Wessler.
Figures. Just as we thought.
Thank you, Miranda. We'll never forget this.
Please, don't make me blush. And don't tell anyone you heard it from me.
Well, we basically already knew.
Oh, we won't. I promise.
So, about Albert Thaddeus Wessler.
So when can we talk to Mr. Wessler?
I need to ask Dr. Quetzal. Please wait here.
Yep, we will.
Thank you.
Well, I guess we'll check some other stuff in the meantime or something. If there is something to check, we could go up the stairs.
It doesn't matter.
That was very... We need to let them know we're here first.
Well, I did.
This picture...
Okay, she came here. I was thinking that maybe, if I just look at this picture in the meantime.
Well, it must have been made by one of the patients, so it's understandable.
It's not that bad, especially the Fox King himself.
It's the handiwork of our director. He's not only a scientist, but he's a great painter, too.
Oh,
I see.
Well, it's lovely to have a hobby, right?
That's right, Marty.
such big eyes again.
Art heals, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's supposed to.
Exactly, officers.
Well, she came into there, but then she's not here actually.
No.
No.
Dr. Quetzal will see you. He's waiting for you in his office. Up the stairs, all the way down the hall, until the last door.
Okay, thank you.
What a surprise. It's enough to mention Wessler's name and all the doors are open.
Well,
I wouldn't want to get mixed up in this, but do you think Albert is in danger?
I think if he is not here, then he is dead. Or he has guilt, on the other hand, but I assume he is the one that is dead.
Danger? What do you mean?
We haven't heard from him since he disappeared, and we're really, really worried.
Yeah,
I see. We don't know yet, miss, but let's hope for the best.
yeah.
Great wild ones protect him.
Where is he?
No idea, Marty.
The smell of all that's furry. I'll never get used to it.
He's right here, dudes.
Well, reptiles have a disgusting body odor, Marty, but they feel exactly the same about us.
Alright.
Exactly.
There is a snake of Dr. Quetzal.
Great wild ones, you scared the hell out of me.
I already sensed your arrival from afar. You know, snakes have a different sense of smell, and birds used to be our prey once upon a time.
Indeed, once upon a time.
Well, yeah. Luckily, we're living in civilized times.
Indeed.
Lucky. Please take a seat. How can I help you, gentlemen?
In a lot of ways. I hope. A lot of stuff here.
Your office is rather Puritan. Simple, I mean.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, yes. I can't let my mind wander from my work. I only keep what's essential in my office.
Okay.
I see. That makes sense. Is this cell like the others?
I would rather call it a room. But yes, it's like all the others, except there are even bigger ones than this.
Alright. Just like any other of these rooms.
Is this cell like... Is this cell like...
I had to know if that's gonna be different, the other wall. Just because. A window. Outside, has a tree.
Why do you have bars on your windows?
Because it's a room like all the others, and I'm just an animal too, like all our residents.
Oh, that's a nice thing to say.
With the significant difference of you being a doctor and not a patient. Am I right?
Yeah, but still an animal.
It's not as big of a difference as you'd think.
Okay, it's not as big of a difference as you think, but this text is different. If I want to escape, I have the privilege of using the door, yes? You do.
So, escaping is impossible.
If I'd want to escape, I have the privilege of using the door.
Now you said that. Not before, though.
So, escape.
Escaping is impossible from your work. It is a fancy desk, though.
An isle of reason in a sea of insanity.
I guess that makes sense.
Insanity is such a strong word, and it's mostly an abstract idea. Where does insanity start, and how long is one not insane? Interesting questions. Am I normal, or are you? Maybe neither of us.
Extremely good questions, and I have no answers to those. But good questions, Dr. Quetzal.
You see, that's something I think about a lot nowadays.
Yeah, well, there can be something crazy about everyone, but there is degrees of insanity, as in, like hearing voices and stuff is a little bit more out there than just imagining things otherwise, but knowing that it's just your imagination, for example, rather than actual reality that you would be hearing the voice and thinking that it's real, or so on and forth. A lot of options.
If you like, I can give you an appointment.
Oh, how nice.
Oh, this is your chance, Sonny. Don't miss it. We're already here.
Uh-huh.
Marty, clock up. Are you very busy?
I am.
And then I'm just wasting your time by looking at everything. But okay, you next.
A snake. I can't help it, but they make my feathers stand on end.
I guess it makes sense.
I have a hard time bearing their proximity. My blood boils and my heart bangs. It's the primordial fear, they say.
Guess so.
I have a hard time.
To be honest, gentlemen, your visit is anything but a surprise. I could even say I was expecting it.
Yes.
What an introduction.
Please forgive me. I have the bad habit of immediately getting into the middle of things. How very rude of me. My name is Dr. Sessuous Quetzalcoatl, but most call me Dr. Quetzal to keep it simple.
It is more simple than Dr. Sesius Quetzalcoatl.
The name is Santino Featherland, and this is my partner, Martin McChicken, from...
Glowwell.
From the Predatory Division of the Clawville Police Department. Your fame is one step ahead of you.
We're used to it.
Certainly.
And looking at the clock.
We have some questions about one of your patients, if you don't mind. We'd like to talk to him, if that's possible.
It's not gonna be possible.
Please be specific, Detective.
Look, Doctor, we're too tired to play cat and mouse. Not that snake and chicken sounds any better.
Very funny, I must say. Just what I expected from you two detectives.
We know you know it's about Albert Wessler, Ibn Wessler's secret twin. Ever since we've said his name, all the doors have miraculously opened. That's what we call a bullseye.
Well, yes. Why should I deny it? We're talking about a rather illustrious patient here, who's also a very particular medical case.
Okay, in what way?
Now, that's much more interesting. So, are you willing to talk about him?
I presume so.
Because Albert, regrettably, has disappeared, and you are police detectives, I have no reason not to talk to you. Of course, I'm at your service, but you must understand I can't disclose information about my patients.
Not even if it's a matter of life and death?
Everything's a matter of life and death in here, Detective. This is a hospital, even if it's primarily for the mind, not the body.
I guess makes sense.
Still, I'd like to give the impossible a try.
Please, Detective, just do your job, and I'll do mine.
Sure. Ask function.
So, what do you want to know, gentlemen?
Let's see.
Alright, the questions. About the insane asylum.
What kind of a place is this exactly? I assume it wasn't built as an insane asylum.
It used to be a mansion. Construction started during the occupation in 622. Then it stood empty for almost a century, until finally it went to the crown of Clawville when Hector's great-grandfather took the throne. The rest is history.
Alright.
How long have you been working here?
I've worked here for more than 30 years, but it's been in my family's possession for almost 150 years.
That is a long time.
So if I count correctly, as soon as it went to the crown, it was seized by your family.
That's almost accurate, Mr. Featherland.
What a lovely inheritance.
It is. Very lovely. Do you know Madame Savas?
Tell me, Doctor, do you know Madame Zavas?
Just like everybody else, I've heard of her, but I never had the pleasure of meeting her in person. I'm sure she's an interesting case.
Surely.
Oh, you can be sure about that. I'd gladly get you two together if I had the chance. A spare cell would suit her very much.
Is that so?
As it turns out, she likes small, narrow, secret places.
True.
Oh, I see. What a coincidence.
What a coincidence indeed. Always looking at the goddamn clock. Don't look at your clock. Let the time fly. And then about Albert Thaddeus Wessler.
How long was Albert a resident of the institution?
For quite some time, his first symptoms surfaced in his teens. Depression, panic attacks, and schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia. But yeah, considering has depression, panic attacks even, and schizophrenia. I highly doubt that he would be capable of taking the place of the Ibn Bessler. So the body has to be his, I'd say. It's not possible that he would have somehow killed Ibn and then taken his place. It's just not possible. I don't think that he could in any way pull it off unless it changed so much during the years.
Was he brought here immediately after the first signs that something wasn't right?
You know, the biggest problem with an opinion on insanity is that animals are ashamed of it. That's the reason our institution stands out here in the middle of nowhere.
Because animals would rather hide what they're afraid to face.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Makes sense.
As far as I know, the Wessler family wasn't exceptionally wealthy.
Indeed, they were rather poor, but we offer our services gratis.
Then how do you sustain yourselves?
By the grace of the treasury of King Hector III, of course.
Of course.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
My family and the royal dynasty had always been on good terms, Mr. Santino.
Now we can try to do an actual interrogation, as in questioning. We'll see how that will go. Probably badly. I kind of have a bad feeling about it. I don't probably get as good of a score as I would like, which is most of the time the case in this game.
Dr. Quetzal's a real mystery. But I can turn that to my advantage. I just need to focus on the strangest pieces of the puzzle.
Like maybe the little piece of the painting. Maybe it's something that he knows about. So mysterious. Very, very mysterious. So when did Albert become a resident of your institute?
So when did Albert become a resident of your institute?
Albert and Hobart, or Ibn as you call him, arrived here almost exactly 4 years ago.
Only 4 years ago, though.
Could you describe that day more specifically?
It was not long after New Year's Eve, maybe the first week of the year, if I'm not mistaken. It was sleeting that day. Wind was banging incessantly on the windows. The power was going out for short periods of time.
What was your first impression of them?
I already knew the Wessler name. I knew who they were. Or at least I knew one of them, Hobart Wessler. He was famous. Gangster, moneylender, celebrity, lover.
Lover.
And Albert?
He was new to me, an invisible gray ghost. The family had tried to keep his existence a secret.
Why?
Because they were ashamed of him, of course, Mr. Featherland. That's how it usually is.
Sad.
What was your first impression of him?
He was silent, but observed everything that surrounded him. His eyes were constantly moving, never stopped for a second.
Was he afraid?
I wouldn't say so. It seemed to me that he wanted to move into our institution voluntarily. It looked as if he couldn't wait to be here, alone, locked up in silence and darkness.
Does make sense that if having a lot of stuff going with you, then maybe you would like to be in such a location.
Didn't you think of that as unusual?
Of course I did, but who am I to judge? It was rather special treatment.
Interesting. Addicted to details. Interesting. Well, addicted to details, special treatment. Let's ask about that. So what kind of special treatment did Albert get?
What kind of special treatment did Albert get?
You know, if an institution like ours has to accept a Wessler as a guest, there's bound to be some favoritism.
Makes sense.
And complete secrecy, I guess.
Yes, but that's the case for all our patients, Mr. Featherland.
Yeah, obviously.
Of course. So in what way did he receive more than the others?
Basically, we don't admit anyone into our institution without a complete and thorough prior assessment. In the case of Albert, we put that aside.
So he wasn't nonetheless assessed properly, so in that sense, maybe somehow he wouldn't have had all of those troubles, or he could have overcome them and even killed even if somehow that would be the case. And he didn't get proper assessment regardless, so in that sense, maybe he faked some of it. I don't know. I cannot say.
So you didn't even know if he had anything wrong with him?
Yeah.
Initially, no. He was more of a guest than a patient.
Interesting. Very interesting. Daydreamer. No, I wouldn't say this one, but... which one of these is the question? Which one would I want to ask? How did Albert relate to you? Or how did you see Albert when you first met? Sure, let's ask that, we'll see.
How did you see Albert when you first met?
Albert was shy and reserved, like a ghost. He almost never touched anything. It was evident he was exceptionally intelligent. He measured and observed everything around him.
Interesting.
What else?
He was delicate and graceful, almost like a woman. Yes. He was rather feminine. He was an artist, Mr. Featherland, a magnificent painter, and rather good writer, too. Sometimes I even heard him sing.
I just have to assume that the piece of the painting that we have is from a painting that this guy actually drew, when he is even said that he was an artist. So at least I assume Albert was the painter.
And why did he have to be locked up?
I asked the same thing at first.
But are you telling me Albert had multiple personalities? That's very interesting idea. If he had multiple personalities, of course that one side would have been a painter and another would have been something else, and then he could at least at sometimes even be like even, I don't know.
Are you telling me Albert had multiple personalities?
We found out very quickly that there was no other reason for the cause of his seizures. He had a cold and calculating personality who sometimes, especially on stormy days, took the reins over their shared mind.
Interesting.
He had these seizures from the beginning.
Yes, Mr. Featherland, but they started to intensify after Albert left our institution for the first time.
So the question, what happened at the time? Did Albert also fall in love with... now I suddenly can't remember the name. But our cat person. And then that could have been the cause? It's plausible at least.
He did what? Left the institution? More than once?
Oh, yes, Mr. Featherland. Albert left the institution on several occasions until the last time, when he failed to come back.
Yeah, the more I hear about Albert, the more I feel that it might actually be that Ibn isn't, or maybe we actually even met the correct or the real Ibn still, but if the depends when the body situation happened with Zip, for example. So if it would have happened afterwards, then we might have even met the real Ibn, but the real Ibn is gone now. Who knows? But I'm more and more starting to think about that, because that's something that he might have been able to fool us in there too, but I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely plausible Albert has actually killed Ibn. Plausible? We'll see.
Quetzal's not only very observant, but he's addicted to details. I must focus on that if I want to get closer to the truth. Focus. Addicted to details.
Unless there's been a lot of pluses. Confused, apparently, too. When and why did Albert leave the institution for the first time? What were the reasons? Did he leave with Ibn, for example?
When and why did Albert leave the institution for the first time?
It was about 2 years ago. Mr. Hobart Wessler appeared and demanded we let his brother go free. Naturally, we obliged. We had no idea if we'd ever see him again.
But wouldn't the Hobart Wessler be... Could Albert pretend to be Hobart Wessler? I don't know. Maybe they still saw both of them nonetheless, so then it would actually be Hobart Wessler.
But you did.
He returned the same day. Albert was ecstatic. He was unrestrained. I could almost say happy.
But yeah, Albert... Maybe... Or Albert did indeed also fall in love with Natasha Katsenko, that was the name of the cat. And that was the reason that he got killed. There's a lot of possibilities. I have no idea.
That was unusual for him?
I had never seen him like that before, Mr. Featherland. He just smiled and stared at the empty wall for hours.
But yeah, considering love, definitely that's the only thing that comes into my mind why he would have been so god-darn different at that point when he returned to here. Falling in love. After all, even we were like completely that, the Gatsenko's green eyes and all that.
Did he ever tell you what happened to him outside?
Of course he did. Albert and I had a good relationship. He was working on a painting for his brother.
That is also a good one, but maybe that painting was about Natasha Gatsenko. That's also a possibility that working on a painting, yes, but maybe about Natasha?
Was it a painting of a lovely lady cat?
Indeed.
Oh, exactly. So you already knew about that.
Yes, I knew indeed.
Yes, Dr. Quetzal, I've seen it.
Yeah, the one that where she's very sensual, if we could say so. Maybe Natasha Katsenko even likes the brother more, even if he has multiple personalities and all that. But yeah, it was quite a special painting. It was well made, of course, too. Very interesting. Definitely learning way more about the situation from him. I think we've done good with the questioning thus far, but then I'm just afraid when I will go and mess it up. But yeah, that's very interesting. But also the painting piece must be related to him, obviously, I'd say. But if it is really Albert and not Ibn, then I am certain that Natasha would know that. That is actually Albert and not Ibn. Maybe it was consensual, they both fell in love with each other. Now this is a good question. What would be the best question from these? These are definitely not something that just one would pop up for me as the very best one about the addicted to details part. Felt about the painting I would be interested in, but is that enough of a addicted to details type of a question? I don't know. I don't know about that relationship with the brother. As Albert ever talked to you about. Natasha is an interesting one, but I am leaning towards the last question about so Albert left on many occasions to continue working on the painting. Sure, I guess. Maybe that can give us some more info. But yeah, these would be also interesting questions about Natasha especially. Or the relationship with the brother. But okay, this one.
So Albert left on many occasions to continue working on the painting.
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. Every time he came back, he was like a different person. But unfortunately, his seizures also multiplied and became more dangerous.
Yeah, if he was falling in love more and more and then wanted to take Ibn's place, maybe. That is really the only thing that is coming into my mind from all of this.
More dangerous.
Albert was hurting himself, and on one occasion he even tried to hurt me. It was unprecedented. It seemed his confined personality was taking over their shared mind entirely, piece by piece.
Just like the little piece of the painting.
Do you think the painting caused it?
Not the painting, Mr. Featherland.
Yeah,
But its subject.
obviously, yep.
Exactly. He was obsessed, right until that fateful day when he returned to us for the last time.
What exactly happened that day, Doctor?
It wasn't Hobart who brought his brother back that day, but two of his gorillas. Not literally, I mean. And Albert was in a terrible, terrible state.
What happened to him?
I don't like to talk about that, Mr. Featherland.
I can understand you wouldn't like to.
It could be vital to the case, Dr. Quetzal. Don't back down.
Oh, you're right. There's no use turning back now. So, Albert's tongue was torn out, or cut off, I don't know exactly, and he was blinded in one eye, or rather, one of his eyes was missing entirely.
The good question is it actually Albert? Or was that Ibn? Because if that was Albert, obviously enough, he would be killed / dead, and not the one that would have been taking Ibn's place. But if it was actually Ibn, now considering he was turning more and more violent, Albert, then Ibn could be very well sent back into here by Albert. So that's the big question. Very big question.
So you're saying Albert was brought back horribly mutilated?
Yes. And they didn't give any explanation as to what had happened. They simply told me it was some kind of accident.
Dr. Quetzal is cold and professional, but he's also very confused. Maybe it's cruel, but I must exploit his vulnerability if I want to learn everything about Albert.
Very good.
Focus, confused.
Yes, focus on the confused part, but I'm not sure what that means. How am I supposed to take advantage on the confusion? I have no idea. Well, it has to be the Bobcat and the Ram, obviously. I don't think that's the one that I would want to be asking about. Confused, but yeah, what does that mean? What would I need to ask? I guess this one rather than this one. This just feels like that's just the easy one. Describe the fellows that brought him back. Nah. This maybe. Which one? Which one? Confused. If I go into this, I feel like he's gonna talk more than just about this, which is the thing, and I don't know if that would be the case with this, so I guess I'm gonna go with the first one for that reason. So maybe it's not easy for you to talk about it, but did you examine his wounds thoroughly?
Maybe it's not easy for you to talk about it, but did you examine his wounds thoroughly?
Thoroughly.
I'm not that kind of doctor, Mr. Featherland. But even I could determine his tongue was either cut out or bitten off, and his eye was gouged out. He also had several broken bones.
Interesting.
But there's no doubt it wasn't an accident.
Yeah, that couldn't be an accident.
I don't believe it was, Mr. Featherland.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I was hoping that that could get a better answer than just going into the idea that, oh, you didn't think that it was an accident. Pull yourself together, Doctor. What was Albert's condition after the incident? As in, was it actually Albert? Or was it Ibn?
Pull yourself together, Doctor. What was Albert's condition after the incident?
Mind your tone, Detective.
I'm trying to. I was hoping that that would be the better option.
Sorry, Doc, but I can see you're disturbed by these memories.
How could I not be? I'm not a monster. We're talking about a mutilated animal here.
Yeah.
So, what was he like after the incident?
Even more silent than ever. No surprise, I suppose. He was not only silent in words, but also in his soul and spirit.
I feel that it had to be Ibn. From the more I hear about it, it feels like it has to be Ibn.
What do you mean by that?
He never painted anything again, and his seizures completely stopped.
Yeah. If his seizures completely stopped, then it's not the same guy. Obviously, because that just doesn't make any sense. That's an easy way to hide that you're actually loose, as in free in the world, when and Ibn apparently really loved his brother. So it just doesn't make really much sense why he would have done this. So it's Ibn's body that was now eaten alive, and the one that is out and loose and is pretend to be Ibn is clearly no other than Albert. And he is dangerous. That was unfortunately a -5. So it is even possible, or plausible to me, that he himself might be doing some, or one of his personalities might be haunting Natasha Katzenko just because of the fact that he found out about the fact that she was actually previously a courtesan that he probably didn't know. Ibn did, but he probably didn't. So what happened then? How did Albert disappear?
What happened then? How did Albert disappear?
A few weeks later, Hobart came to visit Albert one more time. Albert had been in terrible condition by then. We even had to transfer him to another cell, a more safe one.
Safe one in what way?
What did Hobart do during the visit?
He didn't do anything. He just sat and watched his brother, who was in an almost vegetative state by then.
Couldn't you manage to draw anything out of him? You or Hobart?
Nothing. For a while, he was trying to signal something. Perhaps he was too afraid. And most likely his fingers had been broken too, so he couldn't even write.
Yeah, that's the problem, but I'm certain it was Ibn.
Do you think Hobart could have killed Albert?
It's the other way around, I gotta say.
It's horrible to say it, but I'm sure of it.
How did he disappear in the end? Did someone come for him?
That's what's most eerie about it all, Mr. Featherland. He simply disappeared. His door, which only I had a key for, was open.
Strange. Well, someone came and got him from here.
Did anyone see anything?
No one. We interrogated the staff, even the patients. He simply vanished off the face of the wilderness. We don't know what happened to him.
Well, if it is Albert or Ibn, but either one is dead.
Unfortunately, I have a hunch. Thank you, Doctor. You've been a great help.
He was a great help, to be honest.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could be of help. But please, I now must attend to my work.
I understand.
We understand, Doctor. Thank you.
I think that went pretty well. 90%, not too bad. For a change, another good one. We have hands about what could have happened to him, yes.
That's quite shocking information.
It certainly was.
I think you understand why we kept it a secret. If it wasn't for Mr. Wessler's demand, we'd never let any of our patients walk freely outside our institution.
And that probably would have been for the best.
Then the accident happened.
Accident? Ha! We didn't believe it, not for a second. After Albert came back to us, horribly mutilated, he was different.
Yeah, I have a feeling it was Ibn.
Different how?
That's the only explanation.
If someone got one of his eyes poked out and his tongue torn out, he'd be different, but not like this. Albert was a different person.
Indeed, just like you say, a different person, as in Ibn.
We believe you, Doctor. So, can we take a look at Albert's cell?
I'd rather call it his room. Mr. Wessler lived in exceptional circumstances.
Gotcha.
Thanks to the Wessler name, I guess.
Yes. Well, we try to make all of our patients stay as comfortable as possible, but Albert certainly enjoyed special favoritism.
Indeed.
I hope you don't mind if we take a look around in there.
That's not going to bother anyone.
But yeah, I kinda doubt indeed that Natasha knows about the fact that Ibn isn't Ibn anymore either, considering he is pretending to be Ibn Wessler. Yeah. Well,
Well, that's surprising.
certainly.
I've never seen a cell like this before, that's for sure. I wouldn't mind living here myself.
It seems that being a Wessler gets you privileges.
Oh, we did agree on that.
And a healthy dose of danger.
Mostly that, yeah. Let's take a good look around. I'm sure we'll find some answers here. I can almost smell them.
Me too.
Well, I smell paint, ink, plaster, some kind of oil, aging paper, slight smell of rat, and great expectations.
Well,
What the dickens?
Unmistakable. Yeah.
okay.
This place is bad for you, pal. But if you've already jump-started your beak holes, then sniff out the solution.
I'm on it, Boss Bird.
Thanks. Well, it definitely has a lot of nice things, but then also a lot of drawings in here.
No way. Is this some kind of puzzle?
It is plausible.
I don't think so. But we could still find something important here. A pattern, a sign, anything.
Well, that looks like a fox lady. That's the car. A lot of red on top. Then the numbers here to all the way to 8. A lot of eyes. Infinite number. Doesn't look like there is anything, but... Oh, interesting. We can actually do something here. Whatever that might be. Which things are connected? Can I go and take
No
the...
way.
I don't think so.
Okay, what things could be connected? There's at least that. That's taken you to there. I don't know about the numbers. There's something hidden beneath. But this is a painting, actually. Is that also about Natasha or is someone else? But let's have a look into that a little bit more later when we look around everything else.
A small window, a small hope.
Yeah.
A small...
No missing corners, and not Natasha, but interesting painting.
The style. It's very familiar to me.
You don't say.
You've been lonely for far too long, huh?
No, it's not about that.
Not funny, Marty.
It is, a little.
No.
So this is an original Albert Wessler.
Yep.
I think so. It's pretty good, I must say. And I saw something very similar in Natasha's room.
Indeed.
You kept me out of it.
Well, we didn't. Natasha wanted to keep you out of it.
Sorry, little boy. Maybe next time.
Whew, it's hot in here.
Okay, Marty, that's enough.
Whew,
Okay.
Well, nothing more with that. Another one of these. For a handful of waffles. Of course, yes. A fancy bed.
You know, I don't think he had it so bad in here.
No, not so bad.
You mean apart from being separated from everyone you love in an ancient mansion filled with madmen?
You're right.
As always. Well, I guess the bed has to find a new owner soon.
Are you really so sure he's not alive anymore?
No, I actually am not.
I never said that.
Yep.
Well, I guess the bed has to find a new owner.
But I doubt he's gonna come back to wanna go and sleep in this bed. That's something I highly doubt. Writing desk. Now what can we see and find in here?
Identical twins. And looking at it, they may have easily loved the same woman.
Yep, that's
Two
the...
men and one woman. Nothing good ever comes of that.
Yep.
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly.
You wouldn't?
Of all the wild ones, Marty, please, stitch up your beak, okay?
Just use your imagination, old bird.
Marty. He just took that picture even.
Scribbles, newspaper articles, study papers, poems, perfect chaos.
Just like the troubled mind of a troubled fella.
Yeah, but there's still a kind of order in it. It's just too intricate for you to comprehend.
If you say so, boss. Isn't this familiar, Sonny? Just like your office and your desk. Taking a better look around, I can find even more similarities.
Wow, thanks, buddy.
Marty,
Okay. Shut up, Marty. I know. Isn't this familiar, Sonny? Just...
Yes, Albert's letter. That's very interesting.
look at that. A letter.
That's gonna be a good one, a little good thing to read, I gotta say. I can't really make out what that would be. Polar tea. Interesting, however. That does seem to be everything we can interact with, however. Other than the items. The identical twins there with Natasha.
Identical twins. And looking at it, they may have easily loved the same woman.
For sure, Whis.
Identical twin.
And then the letter. I know I don't exist. I don't exist because you don't see me, but I'm not what you think I am. You don't think about me, do you? Never. No. I think of you every day, every minute, always. In my dreams, I've become one with him. One soul. You know who I am thinking about, right? Can you feel it? Can you feel that I'm there too? With you? Do you feel it, right? I can't hold it in myself for long. Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me, please. I'm sorry, but I can't help it. The world is crashing down. The full world just rotting and rotting. Everything is rotting around me. I have to get out of here. To become one with my destiny. And one with you. Forgive me. But yeah, this is basically like... It's not like he necessarily would have wanted to do it, but clearly, yeah, this is 100% clear sign that it was Ibn who returned here, and Albert is taking Ibn's role right about now. So I wonder how Natasha feels about it. If whatever she knows about it. Everything's rotting around me. But yeah, he's just thinking about Natasha all the time, but does Natasha think of him?
Albert was madly in love with Natasha and would have done anything for her. I'm afraid he did exactly that.
Indeed. It makes perfect sense. Perfect sense.
What do you make of this?
Well, the obvious.
Apart from the fact the guy was totally insane? I don't know. What should I?
The obvious stuff, Marty.
That maybe we've been chasing the wrong person all this time, Marty.
We sure have.
What do you mean?
Everything will be revealed soon.
Why do you have to be so melodramatic all of a sudden?
Marty, you really didn't get it yet?
If I'm right, this'll flip the whole case upside down.
But yeah, it was the question what sort of insanity he had. But he had the kind of manageable one that he could be pretending to be Ibn.
What's that, Sonny? A blurb from some horrible novel?
I just have to think things through before I come to any hasty conclusions, Marty.
Well, if you say so. We even had that option before that we could have put into the clues, but I doubt it would have been accepted at the time because there was no proof at all about it.
Ugh, you're killing me. So, what now? Where to?
Back to Clawville, where we can finally put all the pieces together.
Finally.
You're driving me crazy. But all right, let's go home.
Guess we couldn't do anything more with that wall painting, which is kind of a shame, but oh well.
So, detectives, have you found what you were looking for?
Very much so. Thank you very much indeed, Dr. Quetzal.
I'm afraid we have, Doctor. And more.
I wouldn't dare to say I'm happy to hear it, but I'm glad to be of service to you.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, Doc.
I hope I don't offend you by saying I hope we're not going to meet anytime soon.
I hope so too.
Not on account of either of our jobs, am I right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
What can you tell us about the woman in the photo we saw in Albert's room?
Do you mean Miss Natasha Katsenko? Well, yes. I don't know much about her, but everyone heard her name and her voice around here.
Did she ever visit this place?
Never. But if you ask me, Natasha probably didn't even know Albert was a resident of our institution.
And I doubt Natasha actually for sure would know at the moment that Natasha may be afraid that Ibn isn't Ibn anymore, but rather Albert. But I'm certain she doesn't know it for certainty. But I kind of have a feeling that she might be afraid of it, maybe with chance. But yeah, if Albert didn't know it before, it's very plausible that he can't handle the fact that Natasha has been a courtesan before, like Ibn was able to handle it.
And Albert, did he mention her often?
Constantly. It was obvious he had an affection for Miss Katsenko, but I wouldn't have thought for a moment he could escape because of her.
He couldn't have escaped in his current condition anyways, and it was Ibn.
I wouldn't jump ahead, Doctor. Something else could be behind Albert's disappearance.
Do you think so? All the signs clearly indicate this.
Well, partially, yes.
Maybe they do, Doctor, but in my line of work, logic's not always the best advisor.
You just don't know enough.
In 99% of cases.
Exactly. But this one typically belongs to the remaining 1%.
If you say so.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Goodbye, detectives.
Goodbye.
Farewell, Miranda, dear. Lovely to meet you.
So, you'll remember my name?
We'll definitely try to.
Marty McChicken never forgets, ma'am.
Oh,
Ah, so nice.
Furry gods. Let's go. Goodbye, miss. It was a pleasure.
goodbye, gentlemen. And happy investigating.
Thank you.
I'm sure it'll be fun.
If there's anything I can help you with, please just ask.
Just funny when we never see her head.
Thank you, Miranda. You've already helped enough.
Well, can we ask you questions more? No.
It doesn't matter how.
Well, let's go. Let's get the heck out of here. Get the heck out of Dodge. So, Hotel Atlas, let's travel here, and after that, we'll end the episode for today, I'd say.
Oh, I don't believe this. Those two again?
Of course,
Take
they
'em
would
out.
be there.
My car won't last much longer.
Don't worry, Sonny. I was born to do this.
Of course.
Concentrate, Marty, for the god's sake.
Can
We-
you drive like
we
you're not
do.
a fucking lunatic?
We do
Shut
have
up
our
and
own
shoot,
health
you big
bar.
feather pillow. Are you blind or what? Where did you learn to shoot?
We're shooting all the time correctly, you silly man. Finally.
Whew. Well, that was close.
Sure was.
A little too close for my taste. And it only strengthens my belief. Wessler is desperate. He knows if we survive, he's done for.
Indeed.
Well, come on. What did you work out? Will you tell me already?
Yes, Marty, soon at least.
Sure. Let's put the picture together, piece by piece.
Indeed.
Let's start from the beginning. So, we got a case.
We do have a case indeed. But I think this is then what we will be doing next time. So we don't have to do it right now after all, so we can do this next time. So thank you for watching for today, and next time we're getting even closer to the finale, if we could say so. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you for more tomorrow. So bye bye till then.